Greetings, dear ones. I am Sonia, the host of the Treasures You podcast, and this is the sweet essence of surrender. This is a time in all of our lives to come to the realization of our divinity. What was once thought impossible has always been possible. You come from a divine heritage of great divinity. This is why this very moment is groundbreaking, and you are at a pivotal junction of transformation. Yes, Uturiaka Nyasitita. Realizing that once upon a time you walked through life with your eyes completely closed to the distortions that ran rampant within the mind. You are an immensely powerful essence that has come in search of self. Look no further because the treasure is you. Welcome, dear ones, to the Treasures You podcast. As you can see, I have a lovely guest on the Treasures You podcast. Her name is Tamara Zoner. And first, I would love to give a brief description of her. She is an award-winning keynote speaker and happiness trainer, supporting people struggling in transition to develop deeper relationships with themselves and others. She is also a lover of life, mother of three, world traveler, and karaoke enthusiast. Hey, I am too. An avid student of personal development and spirituality. She found her life's purpose through a passion test, showing others how to live authentically from their heart and to create a life they truly love. Her energy of enthusiasm is contagious. Her deepest desire is to help you open your heart and mind to your ideal life and to empower you to be your own leader. So I welcome you, Tamara Zoner, to the Treasure Is You podcast.
Thank you, Sonia. It's a gift to be here.
Yes, it is such an honor to have you here. You know, right now in my life, I am just learning to appreciate the moment, the people in our lives, and I'm just appreciating this moment now because I love karaoke as well. I love it. It's so fun,
It
isn't
is so
it?
fun. It is so fun.
Yes. So yes, I'm just learning to appreciate everything in my life, and because of that, it has just opened me up more of myself that I haven't known. That's like deep within. And when you start to do that, you will see just beautiful things just blossoming in your life. That's what I have found out, because I have witnessed the opposite side as well, the sad moments, the moments of pain, all of it. So, but I'm adding this to my life and it's working well for me.
So beautiful. I love
Yes,
that.
yes.
I
Well,
love
before we start, I want to ask you. So I read from your website that you did a passion test. So can you explain that to the viewers and listeners, and we can take it from there?
Yeah, that is still today my favorite tool of all time. I use it with every single client
Mhm.
at the beginning of our work together because it's the tool that helped me to transform my own life, to be finally really honest with myself about my experience, because I had been lying to myself for a long time, just trying to make it through and trying to make it better. And I'm a relentless optimist. So
Yeah.
even when times are hard, I can have a tendency to refuse to see it. And one day I was doing something completely different than what I do today. And I went to a networking event for women, and I traded business cards with the woman next to me, and hers said certified passion test facilitator. And I'd never heard of it. I didn't know what it meant, but I got full body chills, and you just
Right.
know something. And so we followed up. We went to coffee. She told me about it. Before I even knew what it was or had gone through it myself, I signed up to do the training to become a facilitator. I just knew that was
Right.
part of my path. And then I took the passion test, which is a process of answering this or completing this sentence: when my life is ideal, I am. And you complete that sentence with 10 to 12 things that you want to be, do, feel, or have in your life. And it can be literally anything. It could be: when my life is ideal, I am the most famous podcast host in the universe. It
Right.
could be that I live in a quiet, peaceful, and safe environment. It could be that I'm surrounded by loving pets or friends or family. It could be that I'm a New York Times bestselling author, or that I have the romantic relationship of my dreams, or simply that I love the woman that I see in the mirror each day.
Right.
Anything. And
Wow.
so I made my list. And what ended up on top is typically surprising, and it was for me too. My kids didn't make it into my top 5 passions.
Mm.
It was all about me because it hadn't been for so long. I was a mom at the time of 3 young children. I think when I first took it, it was before my now 15-year-old was born. So or right around that time. And I just had lost myself in parenthood in an abusive marriage. And I came through my facilitation certification with my number one passion being: I live authentically from my heart and soul.
Mm. Wow.
And that changed everything for me, because finally I could see that I was beating a dead horse essentially in my marriage. He wasn't going to change. The relationship wasn't going to change as hard as I tried to and tried to impact it. And the gift in it was that I developed the courage and the confidence to walk away from that marriage. And so every client goes through the passion test so that we can see what is missing, what they want
Right.
to create. And this is why I call my business A Life You Love Now, because we can start creating it, as you were saying, in this moment.
Yes.
In this moment, right now. It's not 10 years from now, or 5 years from now, or 2 years from now. We start now.
Right.
And that changes everything around us. And we get to be who we want to be now.
Now. Yes. Yes. That's another thing. I love the name of your website. That is to the point. You can't run, you can't hide, right? Because
Yeah.
that's what we do, right?
Yeah. And we think it's all out in the future and we'll get to it eventually, but no, we're always now. It's always this moment
It
right here.
is always now.
Yeah. And if
I
we don't like it, then guess what we need to do? Change what we do right now for a better future.
yes. Wow. Can you repeat that one more time? I'm serious because sometimes you can say something and it can go right out the air and somebody didn't even hear. They didn't catch it.
Yes. And I'll add just a tiny bit of context. Like, we're always creating in our lives. We're always creating. We are the artists of our lives, whether we know it, like it, or not. And
Right.
so we're constantly creating.
Yes.
And this moment, whatever you're doing, however you're behaving, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're choosing to cling to, hang on to, resent, or be hopeful for, or get excited about, or be excited about, that's creating the next moment. So when
Yes.
I look out 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 years from now, what I'm doing in this moment, thinking, being, feeling, is creating the next ones. So if you're looking around and you don't like what you see or feel, then we've got to change the within behavior to impact the external outcome.
Yes. And you can do it because
Yeah,
you're
and you
doing
can do
it.
it.
You're
Everyone
doing it.
can do it. You're creating anyway.
Yeah, you're already doing it.
So
You're
why not get conscious about it
right.
and be empowered about it and decide what it's going to
Right.
look like for you in the
Yes.
future?
Yes. So my next questions, since we're on this topic, which I love.
Me too,
Um,
obviously.
yes. Um, so what can you remember changed like after you answered that question? What did you see in life that actually changed, and it just it changed the way you looked at life, yourself, people? Can you share whatever you feel can help people understand more?
Yeah, I think the first thing that changed for me, Sonia, is that I went from feeling like a victim
Mm-hmm.
to taking back the power in my own life and realizing
Mm.
that if I couldn't change him, them, this or that, I
Right.
could change the way that I dealt with it. I could become more empowered instead of victimized. Instead of thinking, oh, this is happening to me, or I can't do anything about it, or I'm stuck, I started to realize through learning, everything I was reading, learning, practicing, that in fact, I'm always at choice. And when I think of life that way, I'm okay. I am in an abusive marriage. Well, I'm choosing to stay in this abusive marriage.
Right.
I'm choosing this. Okay, maybe there are really good, valid reasons. Like I had three of them at the time. And they
Yeah.
were also the best reasons to leave it. So, but
Yeah.
as I lived from a victim mindset, like this is happening to me, it's very, very difficult to change in that way. And I got uncomfortable enough, which is typically what needs to happen for people to actually change their lives. It became so uncomfortable to live out of integrity, out of alignment, out of value with who I am and what mattered to me, that not that slowly, even I came to align myself with what I valued again. And then I had more courage because when that
Right.
fire gets lit from within again, it's like, oh, hey, wait a second. I don't actually deserve to be treated this way. And I've been choosing to allow it. And I don't choose that anymore. Now I choose to stand up for myself. Now I choose to say that's not okay. Now I choose to take a step forward for my own lightness and brightness so that
Right.
life can start to feel better. And one thing I noticed right away was that as I took back
Mm-hmm.
me, everybody else, not my ex-husband, now he's my ex-husband, happily divorced. He didn't change. He still hasn't changed. And
Mm-hmm.
today I can see that as a gift because he's a beautiful, perfect gauge for my own growth.
Right.
And I got to see my children start to be calmer and happier because I was too.
Right.
And so that's just one example, a really tiny step by step, baby step shift can create exceptional openings and change in our
Right.
lives. And it's scary. It can be really
Yeah.
scary.
Yes.
And that's okay. It's okay to be scared
Yes.
and do the thing anyway. That's courage.
Yes. That you just read my mind. I was just about to say that. I said it takes courage.
Mm,
It takes the courage because me too. I went through a divorce as well, and mine was more mental abuse, but abuse is abuse, right?
yeah.
And if you choose to stay in any relationship, whether it's marriage or friendship,
Hmm.
could be family members, all of that. If you choose to stay in that, then it's like, okay, why are you doing that to yourself? You see?
Yeah.
So you had the courage to walk away and create a new life for yourself and your children.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you are a hero in my eyes because you are now showing your children, what is true to do instead of being a victim. Who wants to be a
Yeah.
victim, right?
Right. Nobody wants to, yet so many people are comfortable there, whether it's,
Yes, because they don't have the
victim to your job or victim to
courage.
the weather. If you complain about the weather where you live every single day, maybe you want to consider moving.
There you
I
go.
mean, we always have a choice, right? We always have a choice. And especially regarding children and parenting,
Oh yeah.
I always tell my clients, is a show, not tell process. And that was one question I asked myself when I was still married and not yet ready to contemplate leaving. What am I
Right.
showing my children?
Right. Exactly.
Oh, and then when I had the answer, it was not a good one. And today, 10 years later, since I left the
Hmm.
marriage, my kids are happy that I divorced their dad. They are
Yes.
glad. And that was the hardest decision I've probably ever made in my life.
Hmm.
I prayed on that one, and I'm not like a prayer. I'm a hoper, a
Yeah.
journaler, a manifester, but I prayed on that one. The answer was that what's right for me, what's the best choice for me in my heart of hearts, is the best choice for everybody around me, whether we know it
Hmm.
now or not. And it's true. Now my kids will tell me, Mom, I'm like, thank you, right? Thank
Yes.
you. Because I'm a
Yes.
better parent and person, and I'm me today.
Yeah, you're
I have
you.
this authentic version of me instead of the dimmed down, trying to be
Right.
something I'm not version.
Right. Because probably you were just like me and just like everybody else. Everybody's trying to fit into that that relationship, that model of a happy relationship or marriage. I mean, marriage with children, the house, the
Yeah, all
dog.
the things you're supposed to do, the boxes you're
Yes, that's
supposed
what
to check. You're
I'm
like, well, I'm
saying.
married now. I guess it's time to have kids. Well, now we have kids. We need a bigger home. No, you just tick the boxes.
Yes.
Pre-programmed life that society puts in our minds, even maybe
Right.
before we're born. And then some of us wake up and
Yeah.
realize we don't have to do it that way, especially if it feels like crap.
Right. But what I realized as well, because I went through it as well, and I realized that, and this is what I believe, because it's, I'm a stronger person now. I
Mhm.
believe we go through those type of relationships to make us stronger,
Yeah.
and because you know we didn't know so much about ourselves, and then when we marry somebody that okay, we think that, oh, we're going to be with forever, and then things that they don't happen, they don't work out the way we wanted to. And for me, that crushed me. That
Mhm.
really crushed me, because I was like, oh, my kids, I want us to have a happy family. There go that model that I'm trying to live up to, right?
Yeah.
But no, you can't live up to it if your heart is broken and you feel diminished and you feel like a victim, right? You
Mhm.
cannot continue to be in any type of relationship. That means you are not honoring yourself. You're not being authentic. You're not standing in integrity.
Mhm.
You're allowing yourself to be like dimmed down in this sorrow, depressive state that's really not you.
Yeah.
But that all of that, I realize, is what makes us, is what gives us that courage. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's why we're having this conversation, because I know, and that there are other millions of people out there that are going through what we went through in their own way, in their own circumstance. But when they can hear another person is going through that, that might give them the courage to find somebody, a friend to help them walk away, or find the steps
Yeah.
to integrity and get out of that victimhood, right?
Yes. Yeah. I
Yes.
love the word you use, diminished, because that's just how I felt. And that's what I see when people are just kind of living the life they think they're supposed to, whether it's, really horrible or just okay. It's That's not how we're supposed to be here. We're
Right.
supposed to feel alive. We're supposed to
Yes.
enjoy. We're supposed to experience the full spectrum of emotions. So it's not all going to be joy and,
Right.
rainbows and butterflies. There's
Right.
hard stuff too. And we might feel deep grief. And that's okay. It's all okay. We're supposed to feel it all. That's
Yes.
why we're human.
That's
And
right.
the work to leave that stuckness, that diminished being, that out of integrity can seem like too heavy, which is why, yes, listen to Sonia, friends, get support. I tried to do it all on my own for so long. And I did the trainings and I, took a little coaching and I became a life coach and I became a passion test facilitator. But I was still trying to do it all on my own. But the moment that I asked for support,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of therapy helped, a little bit of coaching helped, then I flew faster because we do. When we have someone else's hand to hold to support us when we fall down, they pick us right back up. They help us
Yes.
see what we can't see in those hardest, darkest moments. And it's so vital that we have supportive people in our lives. And then we start to feel that little spark. And I always say, the work can feel really freaking hard, and it's always worth it. Always.
Yes. Always. Yes. That I totally agree with you. I myself as well try to do things on my own, like my whole life. And I had to realize that yes, we do need each other. We do need support because that is how, well, I already know that, and I know you know this as well. We are all connected. Everything in this world is interconnected.
Mhm.
Our hearts are connected. People don't realize that. We are one gigantic heart just
Mhm.
beating for all of humanity. So when you resonate with another person that is vibrating high, guess what? That makes your heart open even more. And you feel good. You want to continue talking to that person because they're nurturing a part of you that has been like dull or that has been dormant. And you're like, wow, that's so refreshing. Like, so I know it is such a great thing, like what we're doing now, talking. That's why I love my podcast because I love sharing with other people and just talking about our experiences because it could be one little word that you say that can help a person. And that is what it's all about because we do need one another. We really do. It's united we stand, right? Divided we fall.
Right.
Right, right. That saying there that we hear, and people don't probably realize that that really is a statement to unify and to open your heart and to get you to happiness, to your, at least the steps to happiness. I'm not going to say overnight you're going to be just instantly happy because it's a process. It
Hmm.
really is. Now, some people, they might find it in one day or whatever, but it's a process. It's a
Yeah.
process of being able to feel what is right for you so you can live authentically true in your truth.
Yeah.
So, as I said earlier, you are a hero because you walked away, you had the courage, and now you're a great model for your kids to show them that no, this is not what you do. I don't care what relationship you're in. You want to always stand in integrity.
Yes. Yes. One of my favorite words, integrity. And you
Yes.
can feel it. I can feel it when I'm
Yeah.
out of integrity, even just a little bit. If my words aren't matching my life,
Yes.
and I feel this discord, and it's like, oh, okay, I need to readjust.
Yes.
My plane has gone a little off
Yes.
path, and it's time to, correct the steering and get right back on it. And
Yeah.
it's so simple when it's small, subtle shifts that we need to make. It's a lot harder if we're way out of integrity. And so, just those baby steps. You say it's a process. I agree. It is a process, and it's a practice.
Yes.
It's a practice. I always say
It is a
happiness is a
practice.
practice. We don't, I mean, it's a rare person who wakes up one day and just is like, oh, suddenly I'm happy. No, we got to practice the tools. We got to meet ourselves every single day, wherever we're at.
Every day.
Yeah,
Every
every day.
day.
Every day.
Yeah.
And then be with ourselves, whatever that is, not denying our emotions, not denying our experience, being with it, and then being tender with ourselves, loving ourselves, being compassionate,
Exactly.
being a friend
Yes.
to ourselves. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then practicing whatever tools work for you. Could be meditation, could be yoga, could be hanging out with cool people, could be exercise.
Karaoke.
Karaoke. That always makes me happy.
Me too. Me too. Wait, let me share something with you really quick. I
Okay.
just had a family reunion, and I love karaoke. So, and I'm not like a karaoke person that can sing like Whitney Houston or something like. Okay, yeah. I'm a karaoke person that is like I'm fun. I just want to go up there and have fun and sing. So, I'm trying to get my mother to go up there with me, and I did. And I did sing a song. And then when I went up there, the computer was lagging. Can you believe this? It was lagging. So when I'm singing, the words was not matching for what I needed to sing. And I didn't know all the words. So, but I went up there anyway, because that's just who I am. And I just did what I can, and I had fun.
Yes.
And my mom was like, well, we need to practice more in this. And I'm like, Mom, come on, really? I mean, we can practice if you want, but I had fun. It was really fun doing it. So I
Yeah.
love karaoke as well.
Me too. And you know what? There's a nugget in there, Sonia, about not being perfect. Like showing up imperfectly, doing the things
Yes,
anyway.
that's it.
Like we don't have to be perfectly presentable. We don't have to get everything just right. We don't have to hit the right notes
Nope.
in a song or in life. We
I
can
know
get
I
it on
didn't.
and we can still have fun.
Yeah, exactly. And I had so much fun, and my family members, they're like, okay, Sonia. And I'm like, I had fun. I
Yeah,
want to
that's the
sing
whole point.
another song.
That's the point of life, is to have fun. And yep, there might be some low notes, there might be some off
Yeah.
tune, out of key notes. But overall, if we come back to what's the purpose is to have fun,
Fun,
to
yes.
enjoy, to connect. Then
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yes, yes. So that's what I did. And I know that's what you do. And we will continue to do it, right?
Yes, yes, we
Yes, yes. So the next thing I want to ask you is I read on your website that you wrote a ebook.
will.
Yes. So do you want to share a little bit about that for
Yes.
yes. So
I strongly believe that the most important relationship any of us can have is the one that we have with ourselves. And every other relationship is reflective of the one we have with ourselves. So I wrote a book, 10 tips for dating yourself,
mhm.
and then 10 solo dates to get you started. So a lot of people are uncomfortable being with themselves. So this
Yeah.
is a gentle way to really spend some time with you, getting to know you. So there are 10 different dates I've set up and given you 10 different reasons why this is so important. And it's as simple as taking yourself to the movies. It can
Mhm.
feel awkward. And so if it does, just notice what feels awkward about it. What are you thinking? What thoughts come up? What are you thinking people are thinking about you? Just,
Right,
just
right.
take that time to be with yourself. Take yourself out to lunch or out to dinner. And then, all the way from like a nice bubble bath or something like that with yourself. Just noticing and taking very conscious time alone and then being with whatever comes up. Because changing any relationship requires deep self reflection.
Yes.
And most people don't have the best relationships with themselves. We're hypercritical. We
Mhm.
talk total poop to ourselves. It's like the meanest things we would never say to a friend or a family member. We say to ourselves. And so it's about changing the way that we relate to ourselves to be more loving, compassionate, and kind, so that then that's reflected in our relationships as well. Do you think if I met my ex-husband today that there would even be a chance of that relationship? Oh no, because he spoke to me in a way that was horrible, but I allowed it because in some way I believed it. That's how I felt about myself too. It was reflected in
Right.
the way that he treated me. Today, I adore myself. Like
Yeah.
I can spend all day alone, weeks alone. I love being alone. Of course, I need people too, but after a while, like 3 days alone is enough.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then if we're uncomfortable in that aloneness, we get to do some work, some beautiful work. And when we notice that we are very comfortable being alone, then there's no chance of ever being lonely again.
Right. Yes, that is true.
Yeah,
That
lonely
is
is like,
true.
I gotta fill a void. I'll take anybody. I'll take whatever I can get.
Mhm.
Alone
Mhm.
is, I'm comfortable with myself. I love myself. I like this person I'm with right now. Because we're the only people who'll spend every minute of every day of our life. Might as well make friends.
That's right. That's right. Well, I absolutely love that you wrote that ebook because I am an advocate of dating myself. I think I've been dating myself for years. I take myself out to the movies, I take myself out to dinner, to
Yeah,
get a massage, I go walking, I do everything. So when I read that, I said, wow, yes, I want her to talk about this because I want people to realize that yes, this is important to get to know yourself and to date yourself. And I just love the title of it. And we are going to end this podcast soon, but I should have put this on a prompter. I want to add this. I'm going to add in my description about your ebook because I want people to see it. I want them to get it. I want them to read it because I think this is something that can help somebody because we all need some help, right?
we do.
Don't we?
And you know what? Because I'm inspired and enjoying this conversation, I would love for your listeners to have this as a gift from me.
Oh, okay.
So
That's even better.
I'll go in and I'll fix it up so that they can, we'll say Sonia's gift. That'll be your
Oh,
promo code, Sonia's gift,
that's sweet.
and put that in, and you'll get that straight to your email inbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's important because you just share with me, which I notice because I do it, but a lot of people do not. This is foreign territory. They really don't know that, you can date yourself, you can go out. You don't need another person because what you're really doing is you're learning to love yourself, to be with yourself, to learn more about yourself so you can grow and be a better person in the world.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
Yeah. And you'll feel better like every
yes.
day.
You will feel better. And guess what? While you're feeling better, you're going to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Because as I said earlier, we are all connected. So when your energy is feeling good and you're like vibrating high with love and joy and happiness, right? You're
Yeah.
putting that out into the world.
Yes.
Your
And
energy.
science too. Like, I love to relate the science pieces with just what we know, what we feel. But there are studies now by the Institute of Heart Math that demonstrate, and it can be measured by this thing called a magnometer, that
Mhm.
the heart's energy extends out 8 to 10 feet around us. So
Yes.
we feel each other. We
Yes, we
really
do.
feel each other. And so, yes, the more joy that you cultivate within yourself, the more joy you bring to others, you impact others. We are like the ripple in the pond on
Yes,
each
we
other.
are.
And we want to be good ripples. We want to be positive ripples to
That's
create a
right.
better, brighter, happier world.
That's right. So that's why I say about your book, and they read it, they can be happy,
Yeah,
and we can just keep bringing more happiness into the world because that's what we want.
that's
That's
right.
what
We
we
got to
want. That's
practice it. We got to
that
practice.
that's what everybody wants, even if they don't know that that's what they want.
Mhm.
I'm here to tell you, people, that's what you want. Everybody wants to be happy. Okay, we're all made from the same divine essence. We all are uniquely different, but
Mhm.
we all want happiness and love in our hearts. We
Yeah.
do. Yes, I don't
We
care if you
do.
want to
And
deny
I
it.
just love to share too that happiness, that word means different things to different people. Whatever
Yes,
happiness means to you is what we're talking about here.
exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That is true.
Yeah, it can be contentment. You don't have to feel like skipping through fields of sunflowers all the time,
Like
right?
me.
Yeah, like you, like brother me. It can just be like, oh, I feel peace and calm in my body.
Okay,
I feel an
that's
inner sense of peace and well-being. Like,
that's true.
I'm
Okay.
I'm really great at managing stress, stressful situations. Like, I roll right through that. That's happiness too.
Yes,
So
it
whatever
is.
it means for you is correct.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. Okay, so well, is there anything else or a last note you would like to say on the podcast? And you can say your website, even though I have it on the prompter there. And then we're going to end the podcast because this was a lovely discussion.
Such a lovely discussion. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes, my website is alifeyoulovenow.com and have a pretty unique name. So you can search Tamara Zoner on Google. You'll find my Facebook, my Instagram. Those are the two places I love to play, and YouTube too.
Hmm.
And just know that if anything in this conversation sparked your heart, then follow that. Follow that little breadcrumb on the path. And know that, first of all, you are worth your own happiness and your own effort, and you deserve it, and it's possible. It's
Yes.
possible.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, very good words to tell everybody. And as I say towards the end of the podcast, remember to stay in the present moment. Remember and to enjoy the steps of your journey. And last but not least, remember that the treasure is you. So take care and namaste.